Hi, this is Military Modeller Paul with my next build, and this will be a buddy build with Greg Reilly. And this is the M10 Hercules, the British tank destroyer, designed on the chassis of a Sherman, and it's in 1/60th scale, and it's the anti-eddy quarters, and it's his kit number 007. It's got a figure included, you can see that. Go figure. Oh no, it's a silly joke there. Anyway, so basically I'm not going to show you all the parts in the kit, because what I'm going to do is put a link of the actual and his review of the vehicle. So and it's the same as the M10 really, the bottom half, obviously the body, but the hull I should say, but when it comes to the actual turret, that's slightly redesigned to take the 17 pounder British anti-tank gun. So really looking forward to doing this. Now, the box is big, and I'm going to turn it over now and show you the sight. And there you go. That's going to get a bit of a light. I don't know if I can get some of that off, because I wanted to use natural light, but if I come over a bit, it just doesn't want to do it. So here we go. Yep, I think that's as best as I'm going to get it. So, but it gives you an idea of what's going on. I don't know if there's the sun's in. Oh no, the sun's gone in. So perhaps I can turn all this off and just go back to natural light. I don't know. Yeah, more or less, we can see a shadow there. But anyway, but the one I'm going to be building is this one called Chelsea, because it actually took part in the actual Normandy landing. And they all did obviously come in to land via the Normandy landing, but basically this was Normandy 1944, and it's the 62nd Anti-Tank Regiment, RA Normandy, June 1944. So that was good. There was another one, I think, though, that was this is another one in June 1944. That's the 65th Anti-Tank Regiment, RA, 7th Armoured Division. And I think, no, that's quite a good one. I like that. No, I don't know. I'm torn between the two, because I like that. That's what they used to put on the actual Fireflies, the little pattern underneath there. So that's quite good. And I think this, as it's the 7th Armoured Division, I think that was an African, all fought the way through Africa. So that might be a good one to do. So sort of amalgamate, but it's definitely for the D-Day. So there you go. So that's what we're going to be doing. And there it is again. Like I said, yeah, sorry about the shade. I can't do much about it. Not really. No, not really. So I don't really want to do anything different. Gives it a little bit of shine, but it's too much shine there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this little introduction. So I will take the box lid off though, and you can see how big it is in there. I can get the box lid off. Got my hands up there now. There you go. Give you an idea what's inside the box. And there it is. Give you an idea. There's got a tube pop glue bottle. But anyway, so give you an idea of the size. That's it. So it's quite a big beast. And I'll be doing the tracks first. Always the laborious part of most tank models, so doing it. So I'm going to put them over there ready to do later. So, but we'll be actually looking through the instructions in a couple of seconds. So just going to come back in a couple of seconds. I'll see you in a minute. Hi, we're back now, and I was going to show you the instructions, but it says it's restricted, so I can't show it. No, joking. This looks really nice. I really like the way the War Department sort of pamphlets look for these vehicles, and it looks really nice. It's just classic, isn't it? Worth keeping after we've built it. So we're going to have a look. So best breed before assembly, which is pretty obvious. Got all the stuff on the front, and then instant glue, metal glue for the metal, and do not cement, and all these big terms. Most of us have seen that, so but it's always worth to have a look at. And now basically there we go. It's a picture of Andy, and he's talked about the actual kits and how pleased he was to produce this one. I've got to be honest, I nearly went for the M10, but when I heard that they was going to bring out the Hercules version, I thought it was a no-brainer really. It was used by the British Army, so during World War II, and as I said, took part in the anniversary actual D-Day, so doing an anniversary build is going to be a great thing. So, and it does, as I said, a lot of people died in that war on all sides. So, and it's but it was for a good purpose or good cause, as it were. Anyway, so here's all the sprues. As I said, I'm going to put Andy's a link to Andy's a review of the kit, because he did it really well and he took his time. It was his own kit, so and who better to actually explain it rather than me. But you're going to see me building it, and I will talk about bits as we go through the build anyway, because I intend to film bits of this build anyway, like I did with the submarine. This time, because it's not going on Flory's site in regards to building it part of a build, I can take my time and not worry too much and do the filming as and when, and that's the way I'm thinking about it. Anyway, so here's a sprue. You've got quite a few double sprues around here, you can see that. If you pause, you can actually see it quite clearly. The sun's gone in and I've got not too much reflection here, which is good. I do like natural light if you can use it. So here we go, all the way down. You've got a bit of PE, you've got a metal barrel, decals there, and there it is. That's what I like about it. One of them has actually got that, and we see where we go to the front, and it's got the desert rat sign on it, which you can't beat. So there you go, a metal barrel. Yeah, that's it. So that's all the bits and pieces, all the sprues. Turn over. Now I've already said what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to be building straight to the track. So we'll just take a look. Step one's basically putting the whole lower parts together, putting the hatches underneath and all the bits and pieces. Drilling out loads of holes where you need to, and gives you the size 1mm drill, and I've got plenty of that anyway, so that's okay. Drill out all those holes, make sure you do it. And then we come down over to this side, and we're building the transmission case cover with this one. Now I'm going to put a bit more bash and dinks on this, because it was designed from a Sherman, and the transmission cases have all got bumps and humps in the moulding. So that's what I'll be doing. Next one is you're putting it back onto the low hole you built in step one. So that becomes step two finish when you add these parts as well. It's all parts of the inner side. That's behind it when near the engine compartment area, I think. Yeah. And here we go, and we're coming up to build a bit more on the inside, the flooring for the main hole, and which is a bit where the fighting compartment is. That's going to be quite good because it crosses over this bit. That's a space that lifts it up. Underneath there would have been transmission bits and covers. That's what that's for, but you're not going to see that anyway. Then we've got the actual back plate. With the rear wheels of the fighting vehicle, and this is telling you how to do, cut bits off, don't need those. Turn it over, so we've got up part to step 4. Now step 4 is getting near where I was. Now I'll jump across the page now, because this is the bit I'm going to be doing. So I'll be building this, 78 tracks per side, so that's okay. And building up, basically step 4 is basically making 12 sets of wheels. So you make the wheels up to 12 of them, because obviously it's 6 per side, and then you start building up following it all the way through to building them up, and gradually putting it onto the lower hull itself. So you've got the running gear already more or less in place. And then the next thing after that is obviously putting these tracks on, which I won't be doing, because unless I've done all the paint underneath, but I think I'll be putting the tracks on last. Coming down to step 3, and this is basically the inner support walls that go across the tracks, and this is where the shells go. So we've got shell storage on the actual outskirts above the tracks, which is where most tanks have got it stored, even on German vehicles as well. So no difference. So that's step 6. Cross over, turn over, and then we get now the shell case holders. There they go. And we've got making 8 shells up, 4 and 5, and the different ones, and they've got different colours. I'm going to have to find out the colours of all of these, because they're all different ones. We've got TB1. Oh, that's the same shell being made. They make 5. Yeah, it must be, they're separate anyway. Let's find out when we get to it, but that's the way it goes. And then you're putting them into the holders and ready to go. Then they're actually being displayed and put onto put them on there and put them onto the actual track position, because this is a track guard technically, with the shells sitting on top of it, and it carries on down below. This is a part of the rear engine bit, I think. Yeah, this is with a little bit, and there's a L5. I don't know what it is, but especially looks like a radiator to me. That's what it most probably is, and it goes in there, so it's a radiator bit with most probably heat giving off, a bit of heater most probably for inside the fighting compartment. Who knows? I don't know. We'll have to have a look at that at some point. There you go, and some extra track bits going on the front. I can do that later. Then we're going over the other side, and basically we're cutting off all these bits because this is for the M10, the actual 10 American version with the 3-inch gun. So basically we cut all them off because they're smooth on a bit like this on the actual Hercules version. I've just recently visited Bovington, and they've got a Hercules on there on display. I will actually put a picture up in this video to show you it. So that I took it on this holiday, actually, the last one we had in May. So very good. It's a top, and it is smooth, pretty smooth along the side, but the front is the front transmission cake is quite textured. So good thing, a sample to have a look at. And then we're cutting them off, and then we're putting all the hatches, making the hatches and putting them on. They've got clear periscopes, which I know, and that's good because I like that. I don't like painting plastic, solid plastic. I prefer the clear periscope so you can actually mask them off, spray them up to the correct colour, and then put them in place and they actually look the part then. Spray them silver normally first, so you've got the reflection part within inside it, but obviously mask up the clear area first, and then paint it black or whatever colour it's got to be, and then that way you get the reflection and it looks like a periscope in my eyes. Anyway, it's certainly coming on. These are the extra bits. I think these are grousers. I think they're on the side that they could put on if they're in their snowy conditions. I'm sure that's what it is. If not, they're extra track links or something, but we'll find out anyway. And then this is the front plate. This keeps the bit that was on the M10, the original one, so that's okay. And then we've got the lights and the lights and all things going on there. I think they're clear. They're clear, so I'll be getting the colour on those. Up here we got the actual the actual guards, headlight guards. The guards are basically to protect the actual headlamps themselves. They're made of plastic, and to be honest, you don't need PE for this because basically it's 1/16 scale. It will look quite nice anyway. Then you do some more drilling holes after adding all these bits, and then we get back to this plate, which goes on the connectors there, and there it is. And you've got some holes to drill, and they've got permanent gun rest. They didn't have one that folded over, it's just a permanent one, and bits and pieces of details on the engine room, fuel caps, fillers. Yep, they're good. On this one then, so over on this side then, we're looking at the rear engine deck again, because I've got to put in some tools on the side, and on the back down here you actually got tools going on the back plate of the vehicle as well. So quite a few tools there, and it was good thing is if they have, I might get some clamps to actually use proper clamps on them, because I don't particularly like the what they call them, plastic clamps. It looks like they haven't got any clamps on, they just put them on there. So yes, they've got a little bit there. So we might, the clamps are built onto it. So I might try and find a way of making them look more 3D, because I think in this size that's what it really needs. I know in my Tiger one, in the Tammy one I built in 1/16 scale, I actually used photo etch clamps, and I might be able to find some for this vehicle as well, which will come in really nice. So carry on, and then you put this plate here that goes on here, and that actually basically completes the actual top hull bit. It will eventually get placed on the lower hull, and this is the bit of the engine rear deck battery where the exhaust lamps fuels come out. I think there might be some PE there. If not, you can't, because I'm not sure, but if there is, I'll be using it. But it doesn't, it looks like plastic, so we'll see. I'm coming over this side, and there it is. There it goes up inside there, so you're not going to see much of it, but it's actually tucked in away. The old sun's come out again, as you can see. And yeah, so basically get all the bits of detail goes. Another bit to do with the rear fender, the actual fender's having an attachment that goes across, and then that's the end of that. Now we're on to the turrets. When we get to step 19, some more shells going in. They're going to the top, easy access shells, or is it ready to use shells, I should say. There we go. So they go on there as well. Now Let's have a look. Is that, are they moulded on? They shouldn't be. If they, oh no, they're not moulded on. Good, because these are separate. They are plastic, and they'd be perfect because they are separate. And they get quite big, so you don't want to have to muck about using wire if you can help it, because you've got the plastic ones there, which are really nice. Again, all the way around the turret, and then we'd start talking about building the gun breech, and that's what we're doing now. Carrying on with the gun breech now. Really well detailed, going round through. Yep, straightforward, and then putting it all together, and yep, and then you've got to make a choice of the barrel later on, but I'm not at this moment. So that's finishing up at the breech, all the breech for the gun, for the 17 pounder. Then we got some seats, and it looks like they're movable, I think. So you can find out. But anyway, but if they're not, they've basically got three, because you've got a 3-man turret. There you go. So come around, and this looks like it's yeah, this is, I think it's hand turned, the turret. I'd have thought it'd be motorised, but who knows? There might be a motor, and that's just an emergency one when you have to move it, turning over. I'm still carrying on building the turret sides, and then basically putting it together. And you've got this. These are counterbalance for the one, because 17 pounder weighed quite a bit, so these are counterbalances on the back. And there's the actual bit, the rotation cogs going into place on the turret, and these bits going into place. There we go. So they've actually got holders, so you've got places you can put cloths and set bags or whatever if you want to. Excuse me. Now you've got a choice of the barrels, so you put it back here, and you start building the top plate of the turret. The front bit goes over where the gun mount is, and basically bits and details there. And then this is the one we just built from there, and then you've got the aluminium one. And if I can drill the hole, and this isn't, the aluminium isn't going to cause a problem with the gun keep dropping down, I'll use that. But if not, I'll use the plastic one, because if I clean it up nicely, you won't know the difference once it's been painted. And then you put all the details on to the actual turret. Then we're going to be talking about the 50 caliber machine gun, or 50 cal as they used to call it. It's quite looks like well detailed. We'll soon find out when we get to it. There might be some actually photo etch stuff for this stuff to give it a little bit more oomph, as they call it. There you go. And we turn over, and then we get to the end of the actual tank build itself. And you can see the details in there, but you can't see anything down the front. And I don't think you will with the gun there, because they say you can't see too much down there anyway. But it'd been lovely to have the couple of seats in there so you could have the hatches open. But there you go. And then you've got your crew member. And then we get to the details. Now, this is this is a Desert Rat one. I quite like that. And on the front as well. Looks really good. And it's just green. But of course, with just green, you can do a lot of a bit of tonal difference on it as well. So I'm going to do that. And I think I will do this. I was going to do the other one, but this one, it's got the old American one on there, air recognition on the top of the turret. So I think, yeah, I'm going to be building that one. So that's it. And that was at Division 1944, so it fits the bill for me for the D-Day. There you go. So that's the one I'm building, but I'll show you the others. I think I'm getting them all in. There you go. Well, we've already talked about that one, so we can actually bring these more centre. That's another one for D-Day. So I could always change my mind at any point. I quite like the other one, because that was a Desert Rat one. So there you go, Chelsea. And one that really stands out, which I would do in, well, I think I'll do something similar to this in 1/35 scale, because I've got the Tamiya one as well in 1/35 scale, and that would be quite nice. But this is another good one. But it's in Belgium, and it's not D-Day, so that's why I'm going with a D-Day one for this particular. So there you go, and that's it. So that's going to be my build with Greg Reilly. I'm not going to say what he's building, because he's going to be doing his own introduction later on. But this is it for me, 1/16 scale M10 IIC Hercules British tank destroyer, and looking forward to starting the build. And as I said earlier on, these are what I'll be starting first. I'm going to put them over there out of the way. You can't see them. No, you can't, because it's there. So there you go. So that's what I'm going to be building. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you're looking forward to seeing me build this. Like I said, I will do a bit more building on camera. I can't keep it running all the time, obviously, because I don't want to go over 30 minutes per video if I can help, because sometimes it gets way too much otherwise. So there you go. Right, so thank you very much again, and thank you very much, subscribers and new ones, and if you're just watching, just thank you very much for that as well. Happy modelling.